Gotham City is on lockdown, no one can get in, no one can get out, and only Batman can save the day. What'll happen next? All this and more in the pages of Batman issue number 76. Let's hop on in together and find out what happens next, shall we? Well, now this is a strange one. The comic actually opens with Captain Atom, who's been having a pretty big week between showing up here and showing up in Deceased. We discovered that the government has more or less washed its hands of Gotham City and Bane, choosing not to intervene because, well, it'll just be easier that way. Captain Atom has gone out of his way to disobey those orders, which is actually kind of interesting when we stop and consider that Captain Atom was a total crony for President Lex Luthor back when he was in power, yet here he is actually working against the government. There's actually a germ of a pretty interesting idea in here, especially when we stop and consider that before becoming a comic writer, Tom King actually worked for the government himself. But none of that potentially interesting stuff actually matters because Captain Atom is only here to get brutalized by Gotham Girl to show how much more powerful she is than the rest of the superhero community, and why no one dare challenge Bane's new order. Furthermore, you might be wondering if Bane is using the Psycho Pirate to take control of the minds of all the villains, why isn't he using it on the heroes he's defeated? The answer is naturally, and say it with me everyone, shut up. And also, I totally have a reason, I'm just not gonna tell you that reason. And did I tell you to shut up? Now, while Gotham Girl plays Gatekeeper, Thomas Wayne, the insane Flashpoint Batman, is wrapping up the last of the villain resistance against Bane. He deals with Tweedledee and Tweedledum quite easily, but Kite Man and Scarecrow give him the slip, and naturally you just knew Kite Man had to come back in the story, right? Tom King loves Kite Man, hell yeah. Get it, cause the joke is that Kite Man is actually more heroic than the version of Batman that Tom King has been writing, and you know, Kite Man really wants to save the city and will do whatever it takes. It's funny cause he's a joke. He even says good grief cause his name is Schultz and it's a Peanuts Charlie Brown reference, you get it? Now, where exactly is Batman in this Batman comic? Well, he's still recovering from the beatdown that was put on him by two nameless schmoes in the previous issue. Catwoman has taken him to Paris to recuperate. It's here we also discover that Bruce Wayne is the most wanted man in the world right now. By who? The government? Did Bane put out a bounty on his head, or are they talking about Batman? We also discover to support the couple on the run, Catwoman has gone back to a life of thievery. She just robbed the Louvre for a very famous Johannes Vermeer painting called The Lace Maker. You know, at first this panel actually reminded me very much of a similar scene that took place in Batman number 23 from earlier on in this run, a scene I really enjoyed that was also built around a classic painting. The problem is this scene here in this issue is way worse because Catwoman stops and pretty much talks to the reader and tells you exactly what the Lace Maker is meant to represent. Do you get it? Because people back in this time, you know, used to draw big epic scenes, but not Vermeer. No, he drew like a simple scene from life and it looked great. I get the feeling this is what Tom King thinks his run ultimately is, a Vermeer painting. But hey, we're not done yet. Batman may be out of commission, but that doesn't mean Gotham doesn't have defenders. Tim Drake is on the rooftop across the water with Damian Wayne. Why is Tim here when he seems to be missing from all other Batman books? Just go with it. Tim wants to stay the course, but Damian, being the little aggro tyke that he is, wants to get in there and bust some heads, even if it means threatening the life of Alfred, who he says he doesn't care about that much. You know, for everything bad I say about Tom King, at least I could always say that he got the sidekicks and their personalities pretty well, but boy does he really mischaracterize Damian here. Alfred's one of the few people he likes. Tim also goes to see Captain Atom in the hospital right now, and Atom talks about how everything is hopeless and the government is working against them, and that so long as there's no crime in Gotham right now, they're gonna let Bane slide. Even though there's still totally crime in Gotham, it's just the supervillains are wearing police outfits now, and oh, are you trying to make a socio-political comment right here? Because, you know, usually I'm ready to jump for joy for that sort of thing in my comic, but it just feels really out of left field this late in the Tom King Batman game. Also, it's not like Gotham Girl is totally unbeatable or anything. We know full well that the more she uses her powers, the closest she is to death, or at least that's how it used to be. No one recommends just rushing her and seeing what happens. And the comic doesn't so much end as it just kinda peters out with Dark Batman and Gotham Girl saying, yep, we did it, we saved Gotham, no more crime, that was us. And so that was Batman issue number 76, everyone, and you'll remember a few videos back I said that perhaps Tom King, knowing that his run will be coming to an end sooner than he thought meant he's actually gonna kick in the turbos and maybe be forced to get to the point a lot quicker now. Yeah, I take that back. It doesn't look like that's going to be happening at all, because this issue, boy, was this skippable. I could harp on the obvious, and that is that Batman seems to be a backseat player once again in the book that bears his name, or I could mention the fact that this issue doesn't tell us anything the previous issue already didn't. Or I could just simply say that we're only 2 issues into City of Bane and it looks like this storyline is already jogging in place, and that's not a good sign. Overall, I'd give this a 4.5. Hey, the art's nice. I'm Cape Jewel, and I want to thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out some of these other videos I have available from the channel. Then you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Cape Jewel, so you're always up to speed on what I'm doing next. And hey, you know what? If you're in the market for a good comic book trade, might I recommend using my link down in the description? That's right, through Book Depository, not only will you get an amazing deal and not have to pay for shipping and handling, but anything you buy via my Book Depository link actually goes to support me and the channel. So you win, I win, everybody wins, right? And until next time, everyone, this has been Cape Joel. Thank you for watching, and I will be continuing to make comic content that smacks of greatness. Bye-bye.